anybody who's paying attention. And what should we do during a solar eclipse? How should we prepare? What can we do with our genius in order to prepare? So we're going to talk about that in just a moment. We also have our Detox and Nourish. Detox and Nourish is starting this week, so you can still register for it. We're going to talk about it. This is a really good week to start a detox. All right, a little bit of a delay there. So we are live streaming to YouTube, and also the website is geniusbiofeedback.com. So Genius Biofeedback, and I think you all know that. And thank you everybody for your referrals. We really, truly appreciate it. We're going to have some special libraries that I'm recommending to use during the eclipse. Those are going to be 40% off this week. You can see that all at our special banner at geniusbiofeedback.com. Also get familiar with our blog. If you go to our Learn menu and you go to the blog, you can see the topic for today or the topic that you may have missed. This is going to be all about the solar eclipse today. And basically, we're going to talk about some libraries that would be very helpful, and they'll all be on sale. So you can see all of the libraries that are on special this week related to the eclipse, related to your body being more grounded for the eclipse, more electrically conductive, healthier, things like that. So that is on the web page. We have a basic process sheet for you if you want a handout to learn some basic processes. And we do have our Detox and Nourish class. You can still register for it. Starts on Wednesday. So take some time out to ground your body, to cleanse your body, to learn about the best way to consume food, what foods to consume. You can recommend this to your clients as well. It will help them a lot in the healing that they're trying to pursue in working with you. So we have all of this on our blog. Thank you so much for being with us. And we're going to talk about the solar eclipse, and we're going to talk about what to do during a solar eclipse. The eclipse is imminent. It's in about an hour Pacific time, so literally 11:07 Pacific time, so about 60 minutes from now. And as I said, I'm sure you're hearing all about it. And let's talk about it, what you do during a solar eclipse, what you should not do, what you should do for your body, what should you do in coming days. So a solar eclipse is when the moon occurs, when the moon passes between the earth and the sun, and we just had a lunar eclipse. So many of you are aware, probably well aware, that we're in between two eclipses. At the end of March, we had a lunar eclipse. Now we're heading towards a solar eclipse. So if any of you have felt more emotional or things coming up or feeling more stressed, it's because of all of these changing, shifting energies. I always believe they're for the best and for our highest upliftment to experience them, but we can observe them and notice that there is a lot of additional energy being stirred up. You know, we are very influenced by all the energies of the planets, and of course the sun and the moon. Where they are is constantly affecting bodies of water. It's constantly affecting us in some way. So there's been a lot of charged energy for the last couple of weeks, and you probably can feel it. And even the effects of the eclipse will continue to reverberate over the next couple of weeks, you know, until sort of the dust settles and we can kind of see clearly, you know, what has shifted as a result of the eclipse today and the lunar eclipse. How did it affect us? How did it change us? I believe in a lot of ways it changes us for the better. So in ancient cultures, like in the Vedic priests, how they look at different solar eclipses, I think is important to consider. And I really don't go with any of the negative stuff, but I do think that they observed good things about the eclipse. They really felt that obviously there's a lot of energetic change. They recommended staying inside, which I just think is really interesting. I know there's a lot of people out there today observing, want to see the eclipse, and I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Whatever your belief or your guidance will take you to the right place. But I do think that there's a lot of wisdom in sort of laying low, being quiet, taking some time to reflect on life. I think that that makes a lot of sense because it's almost a little bit like a storm, right? There's a lot of energy kind of flowing around, and you want to be able to get into your body, be grounded and present in your body as this is happening. So this can be a wonderful time to connect with your spirit, it's misspelled, but with your spirit at this time, meditation, contemplation, maybe some journaling, writing, just thinking about life, reflecting on life, and just kind of laying low. Don't start any new big projects this week. Just sort of, work on your body, work on yourself. It's a great time to join our detox class. And if you don't want to join our detox class, then maybe do one on your own. It's a good time to do a water fast or a regular type of fast. You want to get into your body, cleanse your body, do some inner work, do some inner contemplation, and that will help you to make the best of the energies. You're just sort of allowing the energies to sort of take you rather than sort of forging out there and doing stuff. It's a little bit better to be a little bit more yin than yang during this time. Well, did you know that certain foods can raise your vibration? Many of you know about essential oils, but there are foods that we can put into our bodies that entrain and change the very vibration of our body. They help to uplift it. And when we uplift the vibration of our body, we become better electrical conductors. The whole key of life, to have more energy, to be more grounded, and to have better health, is to have better electrical conductance through your body. Everything will work better, and you will feel better, you will have more energy, and you will stay healthy for longer. So what are these foods? Find out in our Detox and Nourish class. It starts on Wednesday, and so there's still time to jump in and join the course. If you go to the blog today, there are all the links there, and we've extended the discount for anybody who wants to jump in and get in on that. Just the last day today ends April 8th to get $100 off the course. What do you get? You're going to get a full detox program, and it's going to be live. We're going to do it together, and I'm going to explain a way of eating that will help you very much in your own personal health, and will help you. You could share it with your clients, and it'll make a profound difference for them. So if you want to experience that with us, and also maybe just lose a few pounds that may have built up during the winter time, just sort of get a detox, get that bloating feeling out, get refreshed, then please join us for this. And there's a lot of education about how much protein the body really needs, how much fat the body really needs, and what these foods really do potentially to harm the body when we have them in excess amounts, which is sort of what the government recommends. And it's a little bit too much for the body. It's why just almost everybody in the country is either overweight or obese, because they might be following those recommendations. So if you want to prevent things like diabetes and heart disease, and you're really on top of it, you want to know how to do that, definitely join us for the Detox and Nourish course, or even if you just want to get a good cleanse, any of them will work. We're going to issue a new library and a process that you can work side by side your genius as you go through this, but I think you'll really love what you feel from doing the food plan and the detox plan we're going to recommend. Now, today is a wonderful time for a global healing session. And what I wanted to bring through today is the fact that your genius is so dynamic. I don't think you're going to find other quantum biofeedback programs that have this flexibility where you can do so many things. You could do a home clearing, you can work with animals, you could do a planetary clearing, you could do a group healing. And that's pretty cool with our system, with the Genius Biofeedback system, that you can do so many different things. So one of the things that you can do that I think a lot of people want to do is group or global healing. So group healing is when you get a group of people together on the Zoom, and then you're going to maybe have them all have their picture there in a gallery. You could take their picture. You could also unmute them and record their voice. And so now you have everybody's collective energy. And when we work with collective energy, when we work with everybody's energy together, transformation happens more quickly. So if you are a practitioner, we've gone over this many times in our business membership, probably something that we'll revisit in our business membership and kind of refresh everything. But you can do, if you're a practitioner now, get together 3 of your clients or 4 of your clients or 8 of your clients and maybe just do it for free initially. They will be fascinated by the information that comes up for them as a group, and also how much more quickly You can heal when you're healing as a group. So it's the same kind of idea with global healing, that you, as a practitioner, can send and broadcast frequencies out to the entire planet for global healing. And that's a desire that a lot of people have had. What can I do for Mother Earth? What can I do for all the people on planet Earth? And it's pretty cool that you can put planet Earth into the Genius, put the current date, and send out any frequencies that you want to the people, the inhabitants, the animals, the plants, all of these things. You could do maybe a detox for all of the food on the planet, that it be completely free of any pesticide residue. You know, everything is frequency, so everything potentially can be shifted by entraining or playing frequencies. So that kind of puts a great power into your hands. So remember to use all of that power for the greater good. So let's talk about this. Just global healing instructions. What would you do? Pretty simple. You don't have to use female. You can use male or female. It's up to you. But basically, as the client, you could say Mother Earth, Planet Earth. You could say Planet Earth and all of its inhabitants, Planet Earth and all of the human beings, all of the human souls, whatever it is that you want to do. All of the inhabitants suggest that all of the other animals on the planet can be included. And then you just make it the current date. I put April 8th of 2024, and gender, that's just up to you. It doesn't really matter for this purpose anyway. And then you can upload a picture as a representation of the Earth. Then you do the analysis. You can even do a special affirmation. Now, to record the voice, you can just have your voice act as the surrogate. So you can state affirmatively, it is my intention that my voice be a carrier frequency for the planet Earth and all the inhabitants of planet Earth. A-E-I-O-U, A-E-I-O-U, A-E-I-O-U. So, and you can also state things that I want, you know, planet Earth to come to a place of peace, to come to a place of calm, that everybody be taken care of. Whatever it is, your good wish, you know, that's getting powerfully broadcast out. And I think, again, this is something that so many people want to do. So if you, as a practitioner, invite your community and you just want to do a global healing with your community, that is going to really raise you up in terms of visibility and what people see you as an authority, and probably want to work with you privately because, wow, you're doing this amazing thing to heal the planet, and look what's possible with the Genius, with the Genius Biofeedback system. Okay, you can even put an energetic affirmation in. So here, this one would be, may all people of planet Earth experience peace and new positive awareness during this eclipse. So that's an idea that you could put down in the energetic affirmation box. Now, we can go through this together. One thing we've been doing, we have a club called the Case Solvers Club. And in Case Solvers Club, you can ask for any thing that you want to do with the Genius. I come up with a process for you. So we've had things like children's temper tantrums, give me a process. Tooth extraction, recovery, give me a process. Histamine intolerance, give me a process. And people ask for all these different processes, and you can get one process a month, and then we share these processes with everybody in the club. So in doing these processes, I always do at the beginning a quick zap balancing. So it's become a part of what I do in my balancing. I start with a focused quick zap balancing. So for example, and let me know if my sound is okay. Make sure the sound is okay here. Okay, yeah, so maybe the sound wasn't so good. Let me know if the sound is okay by giving me a thumbs up there that this is, you can hear me. Okay, Allison, thank you so much. All right, thank you. All right, so I put into the quick zap, and I'll show this in just a moment. For example, 3 things that are related to what I want to achieve. So in this case, I would use the root chakra for grounding. I would use the toroids from sacred geometry to bring in a connection to the heart element and the energy of the heart. And then I would also bring in solfeggio 639. So I'll show that on the Genius when we go to the Genius for Global Healing. So if you didn't know, 639 hertz is a really interesting frequency. Now we tend to kind of overuse 528, right? Because it's so easy. It's transformation, it's miracles, it's healing the DNA, but you can use a lot of the other solfeggios. So 639 is communication, relationships, okay? When you have a fight with your spouse or family member or close friend, you could just put 639 into the tray and just play that on its own. I want better communication, I want better relationships, that, use that energy. And also, think of it in when you have somebody who has cancer, because cancer is a breakdown of the cells, and it could be a breakdown of cell to cell communication. So use 639 hertz for somebody who has cancer. Also, it enhances the energy of tolerance and love. And of course, we need lots and lots of that on the planet right now to help us. So 639 hertz is great. So I'm going to put 3, working like Nikola Tesla did in the configuration of 3, 6, and 9. 3 frequencies together for 3 minutes, or 3 frequencies together for 6 minutes. So I'm going to do these 3 frequencies for 3 minutes at the beginning of my balancing session before I move on to my main hold tray. And then at the end, I take 3 frequencies at the end that I think would be significant. So I sort of bookend these short quick zaps in my sessions. So this is another technique that you may want to utilize when you're doing your sessions. Okay, whatever you did made the sound, it was better before you made this change of the sound. Okay, so let me try this again. So if I do this, is the sound better? We're just using our default and not may need a new microphone. So let me know if the sound is better now. Just go ahead and give me a heads up. Okay, it's better now. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Was my lavalier microphone. So I guess we're going to have to get a new and better sort of microphone there. Okay, so just the computer microphone is fine. All right, thank you so much. Better now. Okay, Larry, thank you very much. I appreciate it. So as I was saying, 3 things in the quick zap for 3 minutes, and then let's move on to the main hold tray and look at some possibilities there. In the main hold tray, what I would recommend that you do is today's stress, minerals for electrical flow, digestion. Goodness knows the entire planet probably needs a digestive clearing between all the GMOs and all the toxins in the food, probably extends worldwide. Electrical sensitivities, right? Because there's a lot of electrical changes that people will be experiencing through the different shifts of the planet, all of the energy, being generated during the solar eclipse. Emotions, because it's likely to bring up a lot of emotions, and Bach flower essences. So of course you want to use the emotional energies of the Bach flowers to soothe and calm people. As far as custom libraries, and let's make sure we can get all of this on the screen. As far as custom libraries, give me a hard time. There we go. Energy anatomy, releasing trapped emotions. Again, a really good time for kind of purging things emotionally. And you may not even sign up for that. That may happen kind of spontaneously with all of the sort of powerful energies. And then we have one for planetary frequencies. And we have one for the cell voltage check, which is a good time to work on the electrical energies. We have one called hydration now, to be more hydrated, to have better electrical flow because of water. We have ascension frequencies, and we have one called anxiety, quick relief, and transformation to courage. So those are all good to use during the solar eclipse. You may already have these libraries. These would be really good for what we're going to be going through. And we'll look at these as we go through our healing. All right, so let's go back to this then. Let's go back to our affirmation here. So I'm also going to bring up the genius in just a moment. Let me see if I can just go to that particular slide for a moment. I want to go to that energetic affirmation. Okay, what we can do is we can try to record people's voices and do a collective voice recording and then I'm going to take a picture of planet Earth as well. So I need to bring the genius up here. So we're going to do that. Also take any questions if you have anything about the genius that you want to ask about. This is a good time to do it. Always bring your questions to class as they come up during the week, or any other questions about health, any issues that you're facing, something you're trying to do with the genius, then please do let me know. And we're going to get this set up in just a moment. And we're going to use today's date, see if I can be successful in bringing that in. Today is, of course, the 8th of April. And does anybody have anything that they personally have been experiencing during this time between the lunar eclipse and the solar eclipse? Or did you have any awarenesses or thoughts about the energy that this eclipse would bring to your life or to the lives of others? You can also let us know that. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring the genius up here on the screen. I'm using this on an iPad Pro. I also do have the genius on this Mac, which is a Mac Mini. That's another way you can do it, but the whole picture configuration is just a little bit easier on a separate device. So here I have my genius. Let me just move this over here like this. So I have my genius here. I'm entering, planet Earth and its inhabitants, today's date. And you could also, if you had a group, you could enter the name of the group, my women's group, my Wednesday women's group, or my holistic healing group, or my support for anxiety group, or whatever it is. So continue with the new analysis. Okay, all right. So here you could just put in something like, global healing. You don't have to put very much in this section here. And then we get here. So then what we can do is, all right, so let's, we can go ahead and we can maybe just lower the ambient noise around you and we can record everybody's voice. And my idea was to have everybody say this affirmation together. So may all the people of planet Earth experience peace and new positive awareness during this eclipse. Now, if you have another wish that you want to bring to people, you could just say it. But so my idea is to just go to the chat here or the participants area here and then just unmute everybody. So try to just make whatever's going around you just a little bit silent. And then I'm going to attempt to allow everybody, I'm going to open up the microphone here and allow people to participate. And then I'll let you know if you're not unmuted. I'm going to apologize in advance. I'm going to do my best that I can to go ahead and allow people to join, and just give me a moment here to do that. I wish there was like a global thing that I could do to open up everybody's microphone. And people might be remuting themselves. That's fine. Thank you so much for joining us for our Eclipse segment today. We really greatly appreciate it. And the energy of the eclipse can be really powerful. So if you are sensitive to energy, you may just want to stay inside for most of the day today. And if you do meditate, if you have a meditation practice, you could have a really powerful meditation today. And so just take time to lay low and don't start any new projects. But I think we're bringing in really amazing new energies on the planet. I only buy into the positive. This is a time for your incredible transformation, and it's a great time to be on planet Earth. You're getting to have lifetimes and lifetimes of transformation in a very short time. Okay, so with that, let me do the countdown here, and we'll go ahead and we're going to record everybody's voice saying the affirmation in 3, 2, 1. I'm recording.
May all people
people
on
on
planet Earth
experience peace
and
and
new
new positive awareness during this eclipse.
May all the people of
May all the people of planet Earth
planet
experience
Earth
peace
experience
and
peace
new
and new
positive awareness
awareness
during
during
this
this
eclipse.
eclipse. May all people of
May
planet
all
Earth
people of
experience
planet Earth
peace and
experience
new
peace and new
positive
positive
awareness
awareness
during this
during this
eclipse.
eclipse.
May all
Perfect, you
people of
guys.
planet Earth
Perfect.
experience
Absolutely
peace
perfect.
and new
Great.
positive awareness during the eclipse.
Thank you so much, everybody. I'm gonna go ahead and mute, and maybe you can just go ahead and mute yourself to help me because I have to go down the list here. And everybody's energy was included, even if your microphone was not unmuted. I know that everybody's energy was, absolutely included. So if you can just mute yourself to help me, that'll just help me to do this a little bit faster. And thank you. So it's just an example of what it would be like if you were doing a group program. And now we just go to next. If anybody still can just check your microphone and see if you're still unmuted. I'm going to go ahead and try to mute people here. And I think we got everybody. All right. So yeah, so that's an example of how to do the group program. And it's really fun when you work with a group. If you're not working with a group right now, start a group and make it free for everybody and just have them, just turn them on to how cool it is for our to share our collective energy to work on one goal together. And they get to see all the great things that you're doing with the genius. So then you can just find a picture of planet Earth on Google. Any image that would be a representation of Mother Earth, of planet Earth, really will do. This, is not like a perfect science, so a representation really does work. Just trying to find the one that I took this morning and see if we can get that up and rolling. So give me a moment here to just bring that into the background. And so if you have any questions about this process, about how it's done, what we do in group healing, any other thoughts about the solar eclipse, maybe something that you've been going through, did the solar eclipse bring up something for you personally during this time? Had you noticed maybe something from your past, maybe a childhood issue kind of coming up? See if I can just clean this up here. I don't know what this is. Okay, yeah. So then we just take a picture of a representation of planet Earth, and then we go ahead and we analyze that picture. Yeah, and then we begin the analysis. All right. And okay. Thank you so much for figuring out the mute button. That's awesome. Let me see if I can do this. If we go to continue, and that's an interesting voice format, huh? All of this being filled up. We don't usually see that. So I think that's the vital force of everybody sort of collectively. All right, so let's see on the energetic affirmation, if we could actually just copy and paste this one. See if I will get lucky here. So maybe you can, if you ever want to do this, you could have an affirmation. I don't think so. Wait, let me do it here. There we go. Okay, yeah. So may all the people of planet Earth experience peace and new positive awareness during this eclipse. So remember, when we put this affirmation in here, then the energetics of the affirmation always plays in the background while we're doing our scan. So we'll go ahead and now do an analysis. I know there were a couple of comments about the eclipse. I feel like I'm releasing density because I'm all nutty with frustrated energy to move through and looking forward to the other side. I mean, I feel similar, Jennifer. There's been like a lot of sort of, emotional waves, I think, coming up, and probably a lot of people experiencing that too. Why do certain frequencies sometimes swing from high to low after we run them in a tray? That shouldn't happen. So why do frequencies sometimes swing from high to low after we run them in a tray? Deborah, if you experience that, do message me just so I'm aware of it, but that should be a bug report. That should not happen. You shouldn't really have a shift of numbers during a scan. So, but maybe you can just tell us a little bit more about that to make sure that I'm understanding you properly. So why do we see certain frequencies sometimes swing from high to low? You really shouldn't see that after running them within a tray. So I'll find out more about what that is. I have two sacred geometry remedy plates. It has two ports, and I'm not sure which one to use. So Thelma, the one that you use is the 3.5 millimeter. So that little round piece and you put that into the 3.5 millimeter port on the remedy plate, and then you use an adapter, usually like a dongle, to put it into the device that you're using, depending on if it's a USB-C or if it's a lightning port. Well, isn't this really interesting to see this aura that's coming up? And I credit all of you. I think it's the collective energy of a group of healers. And look at all of the desire that you have for the planet to heal. All of this green and all of this blue. And it's really fascinating how it actually mirrors all the colors in this picture. So I feel like you're sending really good energy for the healing of Mother Earth and the healing of all the people on Mother Earth. Let's go ahead and hide the avatar, and even more so, this deep blue calming energy I think comes from all of your good wishes about peace. And there's like no grays, there's no, black or anything. And so I feel like a lot of your healing energy is being very successful and is really coming through. And what I feel is as we work on this, we're going to see more brilliant colors, more positive colors come in because they're a little bit muted. But all in all, this looks really good. Like you guys are doing your stuff. You've been maybe working on yourselves. And so a lot of that healing energy is coming in through really clear. So let me show you what I do in the beginning. If we go back, and I'm going to show that slide that we had in just a moment. So we had a slide for the quick zap balancing, and let's go ahead and look at that. I'm also wondering what it means if when a client's tray corrects low when we run for a few minutes and it actually corrects lower than the first run. Okay, that is something that we can talk about in just a moment. I will decode what Deborah is saying there in just a moment. So let's look at this. What I talked about was you find these 3 items, the root chakra, because why do we want the root chakra? We want everybody to be grounded during the eclipse. Then we want them to be connected to their sacred power within their heart. So we're going to bring in, from sacred geometry, we're going to bring in the energy of the toroids. So we're going to bring this. Oh, somebody you might need to mute yourself there. Still got a few people hanging around that might have their microphone on. So just check that. There we go. Okay, Madeline, I'm just going to go ahead and mute you there. And it just happens. It's easy to get a little confused. No worries at all. And so then we want one more, which is we want the solfeggio that helps us to increase communication, planetary communication. Wouldn't that be great? Better communication among countries, but starts from within ourselves, right? Everything, the healing on the outside is dependent on the healing on the inside. So this is really nice. You use these triplets, or maybe you have 6 of them, or you have 9 of them, or you have 12 of them, or you have 15. You work in these 3, numbers that derive from the number 3. Those are just really, it's a clever way of kind of allowing the energy of numbers to work in your favor. So then we would play that for 1 minute. I'm gonna have to turn the sound down. And that's because that's the initiating, piece of what we're doing. We want to get grounded. We want to increase communication. We want to bring in that beautiful energy of the toroidal field. So that's what we're trying to do there. Now, if you have somebody who gets a 30% rectification and you wanted to do another minute and then they go to a 10% rectification, they're a little bit stuck. So they once they did 1, that was all they could go to was 32. So they were kind of done. And so if they go lower, it just means you're not going to get anywhere with that particular set of frequencies. So you need to include some emotions or something else in there to help them to move further. And they also may be dehydrated or just have a lot of emotional blocks or something that's slowing down their progress. So Deborah, that's a really good observation to make. And then go back and just sort of think about what would cause that. So here we're only having a 14% rectification. So let's try 1 more minute and let's see what happens. So when people move so slowly through frequencies, you want to ask yourself why. Is it something in their physical body? Is this a big issue? Are you doing like a major, amount of work, something in the frequencies that's affecting them, that's taking a while for them to move through? Or are they dehydrated? Or are they resistant to the work? So this, what you want to do is just sort of step back and sort of ask some questions to see why you might be getting that result. So it could mean several things, and it's good to just sit back and look at it and really think about it. So let's see, we have these 3 frequencies, and we're running them for like another few seconds here. Let's see what the rectification is, and let's see how it's affected the aura. So 639 hertz solfeggio, the toroidal field, and the root chakra. So let's see. And what are you hoping will come out of this solar eclipse? Do you have any wishes that you'd like to see? So that's interesting. I wonder if us collectively focusing on the fact that we got such a low rectification percentage helped us to kind of push the energy and shift the energy. So now we have a 52% rectification. Isn't that interesting? What is your highest hope that would come out of such a powerful eclipse? Do you have any hopes or wishes moving forward? You can let me know in the chat. Let's go to the aura. So we had that beautiful starting aura. Let's go ahead and look at it again. And now we're going to do a progressed aura where we've run a few frequencies. And now where did we go to after this few minutes, just 2 minutes? And that's really how the genius was meant to be run, is a few short minutes in a skillful way, kind of moving around and shifting things around as you need to during the session. And I just would juxtapose that against, oh, interesting. Just juxtapose that against just running it all day. It's not that it's wrong to run it all day. You can run it all day, but it was sort of meant to be sort of give you these little pushes and then allow your body to relax and sort of experience the effects of the frequencies without additional frequencies. So it's just an idea. So we've got this very deep, dark green, and almost would think that we're moving in a negative direction, but I don't necessarily see it that way. I see this as with the 2 minutes that we're kind of digging in deep and we're slowing down and kind of looking at things. But I think this is kind of a purification. You know, you're kind of in a purification, you're kind of purging with this particular part of the session. Let's see what else happens over the next few frequencies. What I want to do now is go to the main whole tray that I recommended. So this balancing, and then today's stress is always good. Now, when you're doing a global healing, it could give you a check-in on sort of on average, if you look at the average citizen of the entire global healing of the planet, what are they experiencing? So this is speaking to the group energy. They may be too acidic. They may have stress in their brain. Think about cardiovascular issues are still the #1 killer in the Western world. Cardiovascular, maybe EMFs, degeneration, the effects of the experiment that we all know about, hormonal stress, and sensitivities. So you can learn something about the greater stress of the planet by looking at this. And this is something you can be sort of an investigator with your genius. Well, I want to understand this particular group of people. I want to understand this particular condition on the planet and our kidney and liver. So as I said, it's a great time for a detox. Kidney and liver are one of the main organs of elimination of the body. And it looks like our kidney and liver quite blocked up, or not moving energy as efficiently as they could be. Now we want to go to minerals, so we get that good electrical flow during the solar eclipse. And it's saying iron. That's really interesting. I wonder if it's iron excess or iron deficiency. Magnesium. Magnesium, really good for detoxification, really good for calming, really good for bowels moving, really good for hormone balance. Iodine. Yeah, there's a huge problem with iodine deficiency, and that can lead to thyroid issues, energy issues, and even immune issues. So we want to be really flowing in all these different, the minerals are going to allow us to express our DNA, and they're also going to allow us good electrical conductivity. Let's move on to digestion. As I said, everybody could use help in the area of digestion. And it's interesting, the one place where we're being stressed out is enzymes. That might come from GMO foods. We need more enzymes to better digest this really like Franken food. The best thing that you can do is have whole, unprocessed foods that you kind of cook or put together yourself, rather than packaged foods. If you've noticed on a lot of the packaged foods, it now says bioengineered foods. So they found new language for GMO. And so when you buy packaged prepared foods on the shelf, you are taking a risk that the ingredients that they've put into that long list of ingredients include some bioengineered food. So prepare the foods yourself, you know, some sweet potatoes, some rice, some vegetables, some fruits, some nuts, some seeds, things that you prepare by your own hand. You can learn about that in the Detox and Nourish class. Come to our class and learn with us over the 4 sessions. It's a very reasonably priced. We'd love to have you join us. Large intestine. So we need to kind of take out the trash. Some people not balanced in their large intestine. All right, so you see all of that. So again, you're learning over, you know, a big population. It's kind of fascinating. Electrical sensitivities. So it's right here. It tells us UHF. That's kind of a signal broadcasting. Metallic implants. Wow, do you know what that makes me think of? The experiment, right? What could be in there? Graphene. Computer monitors. That's funny given what we're all experiencing today. And okay, so we'll include those as electrical sensitivities up for today. And then we have emotions. What is the planetary emotional state? What's the biggest charged emotion for them today? Isn't that fascinating? If you're a curious person, then you're probably a great biofeedback practitioner because you want to ask questions, you want to know answers. You know, what are the emotions? Worry. Ha! Doesn't that make sense that people are worried today? Worry. Apathy. Some people have just checked out. I can't take it anymore. I just need a break. I don't care anymore. Just get this ride over with, right? Love. When you see love as an emotion that appears to be out of balance, it's because, or any of these positive emotions in red and blue, people are trying to get to that emotion. They're trying to have a better experience, more love in their world. So I think as a planetary force, everybody wants peace and love on the planet. Every person who is like a normal everyday citizen truly wants that and probably has wanted that for every year that they've been on the planet. So we've got grief, envy, annoyance, sadness, gratitude. Again, we're trying to get to the place of gratitude. Despair. All right, so lots and lots of emotions in there. Let's look at the flower essences. And this is always interesting as well. Like, for example, if white chestnut comes up, white chestnut has a lot of anxiety. So it could indicate that as a global, you know, world that we're all experiencing a lot preponderance of anxiety. Let's see what comes up in Bach flower essences. Vine, rock rose. Okay, we're going to look at these in a moment. First, I want to gather them up. I want to put them into the tray. So let's go ahead and put them into the tray. And in fact, let's do this. Let's see which one comes up in Progressive Insights. So let's see which flower essence comes up at the top when we put in Progressive Insights, because then we compare it to all the other frequencies and we want to say which is the one that is the highest one that we should be concerned about. And then we're going to look it up on our Success Desk reference cards to see what we know about this particular type of flower essence. And so we see lithium. Lithium orotate is something you could look into as a brain, as a supplement for cognition, for maintaining the health of the brain. Lithium orotate, something like 5 milligrams per day to prevent any degradation, deterioration of the brain. Selenium, immune system. Magnesium, right? Calming. The biggest emotion is confusion. Isn't that the truth? And then we move down. Let's see if we can find a flower essence among this, all of these. It's interesting, all the emotions. It's really emotions that are coming up at the top here. I have to go down all the way beyond the high priority frequencies. And gosh, did I include any flower essences? Did the flower essences not get into the tray? This is really weird. What happened with this? Did I put them in the wrong tray? That's probably what I did. Let's see, I put them in the wrong tray, put them up here. That's why. So let's try this again. And let's do this and try this one more time. All right. I think I only did that with flower essences. Everything else ended up in the right tray. All right, so there we go. Very fascinating. Iodine being the #1 mineral at this time. Large intestine cleansing. All of this makes sense when you think about people in general. And the iodine issue is so profound. But look at that. Star of Bethlehem is is clearing out past trauma. It's the flower essence of PTSD, past traumas, clearing past traumas. And then Rock Rose is releasing fear and panic. I love this because I feel like it really connects us all together and connects us to the group energy of the planet, and also kind of lets us know that we're not going through this alone. You know, we're going through this collectively. You can see some grief, right? How many of the excess people passing and transitioning from the experiment that you all know about. Stomach, more digestive stuff. Mimulus is all about fear. And mustard is feeling like you have a dark cloud over your head. So a lot of these make sense for our collective energy. All right, I think you put the Bach into the quicksand. That's exactly what I did. Finally figured that out. All right, so then let's see what happens with the aura when we do this series of frequencies. You can check the aura during a session as many times as you want as a way to track your progress. How do you want to end the session? What do you need to do to end the session on a good note? And then we'll see this. So, you know, run these frequencies, this is only a 20% rectification, but let's look at the aura anyway. You know, run some frequencies today for the planet. Run some frequencies for your family, run some frequencies for yourself. That's a great way to get through the eclipse and to, you know, dance through it rather than be stressed by it. It's a wonderful way. So utilize your genius today to get through and to make the most of your experience of the eclipse. So let's go ahead and see what happens here. Any questions, any genius questions, anything you want to ask about? This is a good time to offer up your questions, anything you want to participate, things you've been wondering about in the genius, any functionalities. Now, isn't this interesting? Wow, look at the shift and change that just happened in the aura. And let's go ahead and hide the avatar and take a look at that as well. Isn't that absolutely fascinating? So really, really cool. I have to remember to take the picture in a different way because if I take it on my device, it will actually, if I switch out, it may time out the session. If any of you experience that, let us know. We want to report that to the developer. There's a certain, it has something to do with an API, and they can rectify this issue of the timeout. So if I try to bring this up on my device, it might time out, and then I'll go back and the genius will start over without any of the information from the session. So you've probably all experienced that at one time. But look at that amazing progress in just a few minutes. And what we've turned our attention to now is really focusing on the physical body. And we're bringing in that root chakra grounding, which you can see in that all of that red energy. And again, if we hide the avatar, all of that, okay, so our heart, we're in the process of healing the heart, really is what's happening here. So that's really fascinating. Let's do a few more things here. We didn't get to do the custom library, so let's talk now about the custom libraries. And these are the ones that we talked about for the custom libraries. And so let's go ahead and begin the analysis here. And let's see some of your thoughts here. My client would like to have her quanta capsule in Spanish. Probably that's just not probably going to happen. But what you can do is they can go to their settings and they can change the global settings of their iPad to Spanish. The main part of the quanta capsule probably will change to Spanish, but I don't think the frequencies are going to change to Spanish. So have them try it and let me know what happens when they come back. So everything in the capsule itself, the instructions will change, but I don't think the frequencies will change. Let me know. And it's a good request. You can even submit it as a bug report and just tell them, you know, we really need Spanish language for the quanta capsule and see what they come back with. Okay, so right now we can put in energy, the energy anatomy. So I thought this was a great one for clearing, not energy, I keep switching those up. This is emotional anatomy for clearing trapped emotions. Emotional anatomy. Oh, wow, look at that. Look at the score on this one. So it's really resonating. Releasing trapped emotions. Wow, so just as a sort of a global presence, we all need a lot of emotional cleansing. I release the pain in my ankles that is rooted in inflexibility. So maybe we need to be more flexible. I become more flexible in my life. So wow, there's a common theme about being flexible. That's sort of a global theme. That's fascinating. I release the chronic tightness in my hips, knowing I'm truly ready to move forward in my life. I release the fear of moving forward. Let's see if there's some down at the bottom that are interesting. I release imbalances in my heart and circulatory system that may be rooted in the resistance to experiencing joy in life. So all of those, why do we have so much heart attack, heart, build up in the heart, stroke? Now I have explained a lot of it through diet, pretty obvious, but what is the emotional corollary? What is going on in their heart? Why is their heart attacking? Why is their heart seizing? What's going on in our life? Why do we feel so out of balance with our heart? Is it because we live in our head so much that we don't connect enough to our heart? And so our heart energy has been completely abandoned and not enough energy is flowing through the heart. What is causing that? Even though what was done to me was wrong, I allow complete compassion and unconditional love for myself and set myself free. So many of us are holding on to a lot of emotions, not being able to forgive. And the forgiveness of others is the ultimate way that we really set ourselves free. So this is one that I think is really good to do during the solar eclipse. You can also look at planetary frequencies, and because we're all being influenced by all the planets all the time, this is a great one. This is the actual frequencies of the different planets, and we've programmed in those frequencies into these libraries. And so these frequencies, you can also balance the planetary frequencies. Another great one is working on your electrical system today, which would be through the cell voltage library. So the cell voltage check, and just seeing if we can get the body to a good electrical flow. Enzymes to increase voltage, alkalization needed, better oxygenation needed, some different fatty acids that are needed. All right, and then we have working on hydration, which is also another way to make sure that the energy is flowing through the body. So it has some things to basically enhance hydration. Let's place those in there. And let's just go with that since we're going to run out of time. And let's see now what are some of the top energies that are coming up here for us collectively. Okay, yeah, heartbreak. Karen says heartbreak. A lot of people have had broken hearts, right? And maybe it's not just broken about like romantic love. Maybe it's broken because they didn't fulfill a true desire in their life or something from their childhood. So all of those things. So I release any issues with my throat and tonsils that may be related to swallowing painful news or events. Whoa. I have faith that all is unfolding exactly as it should be. I now release the pain in my middle back, which is related to feeling guilty, sort of like if you have pain in your back or that middle back, maybe you sort of hunch forward, relating to feeling guilty about the past. I experience more movement and flexibility in my middle back. And a lot of the back is related to the back of the chakras, and the back part of the chakras is all the subconscious, what we don't see clearly. Everything in the front, okay, about the chakras, we see that clearly, but in the back, all the things that others see clearly, but it's our unconscious. So if you have back pain, back issues, part of that could be part of that. I am now ready to clear any imbalances in my brain and my memory, which may be related to trying to control others. I adopt a spirit of allowing over control. I mean, can we send this to the WEF or the WHO? Maybe they can start to adopt that. I can release and relieve pain in my lower back that is related to a fear of not having enough in my life. I'm open to receiving, and I deserve the very best. So we can play those energies. So this is really an example of how to work with group energy, how to work with global healing, and how to get through kind of difficult, occurrences like a solar eclipse. Get on your genius and start working on yourself. Everything stems from you, right? Balancing yourself. and that helps to balance the planet. And then get on there, balance the planet, see what the main, issues are that are affecting us collectively. That really does an amazing service to us as a group, for humanity. So if you do this today, I really sincerely thank you for everything that so many people say, I want to do something for the planet. This is what you can do for the planet to really improve and uplift it. So we've got a lot of electrical flow frequencies. We've got grief coming up again. This time we had sweet chestnut come up. So sweet chestnut is for the deepest anxiety and feeling alone and separated. And look at that. So we really want to come together. And we went to a 20% rectification. Let's see when we do a rescan. Normally I wait for about 40%, but let's just see. I'm curious if we do a rescan now, what comes to the very tippy top. Optimizing the ability to hydrate on all levels. Serato, we're going to look at Serato. I'm not now able to clear any imbalances in hair growth and healthy hair that may be related to lingering feelings of disgust. I now forgive the past and I'm ready to move forward. So lots of hydration. And that rock rose comes up again. I mean, rock rose is fear and panic, having like a panic attack. And Serato, I always get Serato and Centauri kind of confused. So let me see. Serato is putting down your foot, the putting down your foot essence. So if something came up during this time that was maybe with somebody in your life, and it's like you feel like you have to set a boundary, and that boundary has been maybe stepped on multiple times, and it's like, I'm putting my foot down, like this cannot happen. Maybe it's how we feel about the few that hold all the power. We're putting our foot down. We're not putting up with this anymore. How can you tell us to do all of these things? We're free, independent human beings. We're not going to bow down to anybody. We have our own autonomy and ability to be free in this world. So maybe that's why the Serato energy is coming up so much. So it's fun to think about these things and to really feel more connected to what we're going through and to really understand more about it and be able to do something about it, to be able to instantly clear all of this energy. And I believe it does make a profound difference, especially when we're all balancing together. So if you've never done a group session, invite the group that your followers to come for a free group session. Make it completely free, and you get to showcase all that you do with your genius. Even if you just broadcast it on YouTube or Facebook, or you make a little recording of it, or even if you do it live in person with a group that comes to your office or maybe a church or a library, you get to share all of this in such a powerful and positive way. So let's go ahead and go back to the aura here. And let's see where our final progressed aura is before we wrap up for the day. So again, this has been a class all about the solar eclipse and how to stay grounded and centered during your solar eclipse. And let's see where our final aura is coming to. Still time to join Detox and Nourish if you feel so motivated. You really need a fresh start. You really need a refresh, both energetically and physically. Come hang out with us. Isn't this a great ending aura for today? Oops. I tried to take a screenshot, but I need to do it a different way. Isn't this a wonderful ending aura? So this is why looking at the aura and kind of monitoring it throughout your session can really help you to know where you're headed. Now we do have some muted colors in the middle there. I think we're still working. I would take this and after this, I would do all energies around the heart. Everything around the heart chakra, the toroids, all heart frequencies, heart assessment, heart solutions, everything related to heart and circulatory and cardiovascular, because I want to lighten and brighten this energy, get more heart healing energy, but it's looking really good. So that's all those higher energetic colors looking so much better, really bringing in the higher energy. So thank you to everybody who participated in this today. All right, so, okay, thank you to everybody. So we'll be back soon with more classes, more fun things to participate in, some remedy classes, some quantum capsule classes coming up soon. And if you have a topic that you'd like us to explore, certainly let us know. Ariel@geniusbiofeedback.com. I hope you'll join me for the Detox and Nourish class. and we'll see you back here soon. Take care, everybody. Have a great rest of your day, and hope the solar eclipse brings you lots of good things, lots of positive transformation in your life. We'll see you real soon. Take care. Bye-bye for now.